Yo, we was not some for France Aquani, and that's the shame. Oh my God, about question is OGB for short. If today is your first time watching that, please, I would like you to do us a very big favor. Just smash the subscribe button. Today, we are going to look at something that's very important, that's eluding the whole of the African continent and Ghana to be specific. Where we'll delve really deep about leadership and what it entails, and then what role must the leadership play. Why our leaders are not doing what they're supposed to be doing. And then we cannot also blame the leadership without also coming back to talk about the citizenry of every country. A leader is just one person, which is, I'll say, a supreme leader of every country. The problems in the country can never be fixed by one person or just an idea or some kind of intelligence of just one particular person. Even if the person is the most super genius, after the idea, he or she is going to need some help, a physical help, where people have to do something to help to make that idea a reality. In every continent, in the history of every country, hundreds of years ago, thousands of years ago, millions of years ago, and since time immemorial, it has always been the case that unity has always been the key. And that is what OGB comes in. That we are calling for what? Unity of purpose. Now, you can follow Omagana Bako via Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. Bless your heart for doing so. Now, today, I want us to go and watch a video. And that video is a video of an African leader who is speaking in terms of how Africa is going to come together, everything. Now, OGB is politically neutral, so we are going to walk in a very tight rope. We are not political, we are non-religious, and we are also non-ethnic group. Now, our central message is unity of purpose. Now, we are seeking to unite all Ghanaians, both home and abroad. That if we all come together and realize that we are just one people, because when you pick, for instance, a Ghanaian passport, now, behind the Ghanaian passport, you have something called the Republic of Ghana. It doesn't talk about your ethnicity. It doesn't talk about your religious belief. It doesn't talk about what political affiliation or what political group you belong to, including the the president, the incumbent. I mean, the president who is right now the current president of Ghana. Their passport, it doesn't say their political party. It says Republic of Ghana. That means Ghana is what? Bigger than any other person, any other political party, any other, group or whatsoever. So that's where OGB belong in what? Unity. If we can all unite, then that is when, and only when, we will realize that, no, we are facing with what? Common enemy. Why are we not doing it? Why are we not? Because once we feel that we are different people, that is where we fail. That is where we can never, ever fix our own problems that are happening in our continent. Now, I need you to do me a favor, smash the subscribe button, share this video so others can hear, so others can see. I want us to just go and listen to our dear brother Ajitana, because this program is being sponsored by OGB Right and then Ghana Pan-African Tees. Now you can visit OGB Right at www.ogb-right.com. www.ogb-right.com. And then when you go to when you visit our website, you're going to see a whole bunch of incredible things. It's a new healing app that belongs to all Ghanaians. This one is not individually owned. Again, and I repeat, OGB Right is owned by all Ghanaians. It's the most affordable, it's the most convenient right you can ever have. If you live outside Ghana, 60 days prior to your departure to Ghana, you can book OGB Right. Yes, you can pre-book. You heard me right. Our services are second to none. The second sponsor is Ghana Pan-African Tees. Now, you can visit Ghana Pan-African Tees at www.GhanaPanAfricanTees.com. www.GhanaPanAfricanTees.com. Ghana Pan-African, the things that are sold in Ghana Pan-African Tees are simply affordable. Dear Madam Roberta, shout out to you wherever you are. Yo, now, without being said, now let's go back to the video. Now, I want us to listen to our brother Adetan, and then when we come back, we will watch the main video. Thank you very much.
Hi good people, so let me introduce to you the new app and service in town. It is the OGB Ride. If you're thinking a private car to any destination, OGB Ride is the new app. Well, for your comfort, for your security, now there are categories like the comfort ride, the taxi ride, and the luxury ride. Now you want to download the app today. Patronize made in Ghana. It is by the people, for the people. If you're thinking development and jobs for young people, OGB Ride is the thing. This is our own. So download the app today and you won't regret it.
OGB Ride, OGB Ride, OGB Ride, OGB Ride. Yeah. You see, OGB.
All right, you are warmly welcome back. This is OGB TV, your man Francis Akot right here. Today we are looking at the African continent as a whole, and things that affect the African continent affect individual countries, and Ghana in this case, to be specific. Now, we want to watch an election between the president of Kenya and a brother. I mean, this guy is really rich, and he does not understand why with Africa, with all these kind of immense natural mineral resources, and yet we are still begging, and we are still at the bottom of the mountain. Any country can call and say, oh, we need African Union to come. Just one single country or a few countries. 52 countries versus one country. This is a shame. It's a shame. It's a shame to be an African at this point. And yet most of us will come on social media and bash or bastardize most of our leaders without doing anything. Some come and then they will throw temper tantrums. They will mount on ancient platitudes and talk as if that the problems of Africa, or Ghana to be specific, can be eradicated just at a snap of our fingers. Things don't work that way. Change does not come if we don't involve ourselves personally. If we want to see Ghana change, the first thing that needs to happen is us. We ourselves need to change before Ghana can change. And most importantly, Ghanaians in the diaspora. We think we got good jobs, and then we got good jobs. I live in a house. I'm riding a good car. I got good clothes and stuff. Look, these things are just the most unwarranted things in life. The most important thing in life is the impact you make by way of what the great Supreme God has given to you for you to do it, so that generation for generation will benefit. Somebody invented the computer. We are all benefiting. And generation upon generation, they will. Somebody invented airplane. Generation upon generation, we will benefit. This is what OGB is talking about. We are not just talking about, fixing something temporary. Now, let us, watch the exchange between these two brothers, and then OGB will come back, and then we will do our reaction and analysis. Thank you very much.
The positive thing is that there is a realization that it cannot continue this way. We have what it takes to fix it. And the conversation is already begun on what do we realistically do to be able to get the African Union to take charge of the affairs of our continent. Let me give you a case in point. We decided, for example, that we are going to assemble our market using the Africa Continental Free Trade Area market.
Yes, that's good decision.
Ecosystem.
Yeah.
And the positive thing is that it was unbelievable at the rate at which we were able to achieve consensus, and we were able to achieve ratification. And I want to tell you, it is among the things that happened in the shortest time possible. It tells you there is greater realization that unless we act in concert, unless we act together, we are unlikely to make any impact anywhere. We have, at least on the market issue, we have put that together. There is a debate that is going to evolve. Like, for example, we have also decided that it will not going to be business as usual. We have these meetings, Africa, US meeting, Africa, Europe, Africa, Turkey, Africa,
India.
Now we are waiting for, there is another one, Africa, Russia.
And Africa, Japan.
and Africa-Japan. We have made the decision that it is not intelligent for 54 of us to go and sit before one gentleman from another place. And I mean, and sometimes we are mistreated.
Yeah.
You know, we are loaded into buses like school kids. You know, and it's not right.
Well, you are summoned, you know.
It's not right. So the decision that we have made as AU is that going forward, if there is going to be a discussion between Africa and any other country, we are going to be represented by the chair, the outgoing chair, the bureau.
Chair of the commission or the chair?
And the chair of the RECs, and we have 5 RECs. That should be sufficient for, I mean, a meeting of maybe 6, 7. Yeah. That should be able to represent Africa. And that is the position I am taking as the president of Kenya. For any other meeting that we are going to have with all these requests that we have a meeting between Africa and one other country. We respect the sovereignty of others. I think to ask for reciprocation is not to ask for too much.
No.
And for us to agree that let us have this kind of setup. The only, because I had a conversation with President Kagame, and he actually led that particular position. I have had a conversation with Prime Minister Abiy. He believes very strongly that that should be the position of our continent. Because, as you have said, if we don't respect ourselves, nobody is going to respect us. And we should be able to take that kind of decision. Yeah. And part of that respecting ourselves is when we say African problems, African solutions. We must be serious about the solutions. It cannot be rhetoric. It cannot be talk. It must be accompanied by what realistically and practically we are doing.
And with our capacity, yeah. No, this is wonderful, but just one question. Why are you having this discussion in closed rooms? Why don't you bring civil society, all those people in this discussion? Because we can also put pressure on our leaders or whatever to behave in a better way. African people need to tell their presidents, we care about Africa. That should be a priority. Unless we act really together, it doesn't work. And in the reform agenda of the African Union, if you and your colleagues are proceeding that way, there need to be really a serious discussion about the structures and how Africa is. One problem is African countries refuse to cede any sovereignty to the African Union. So African Union cannot sign a trade agreement in the heart of Africa. Then the African Union go and meet the European Union. This is not balanced.
It is not.
Because those guys had
27 countries,
gave them sovereignty.
Yes.
But our guys here don't want to give any sovereignty, cede any sovereignty to the Union, as if, you know, this is something very fantastic they have to keep. When countries like Germany, like big countries, agreed to cede sovereignty to the collective body because they are smart. They think when they are together, they negotiate better deals.
Are you saying?
The only stupid guys, unfortunately, are the British, who left that collection. But look, I'm free to say that because I'm also a British citizen, and so I have my views about what happened in Britain. I know we have British. Jane is there, the High Commissioner, and the Archbishop. And I have the minister here also. But do you agree with me it was a mistake to leave the European Union? You agree? You're going to lose your job, I think. Anyway, BBC is not here, don't worry. Nobody watch Kenya TV, so don't worry. Anyway, so No, it's not a joke. I mean, it is truth. I mean, it is a mistake. Together, we're stronger. We do things better. And that's what we need the African people to press their governments. We need to be stronger. We need to have our union. We need to cede some of our sovereignty for the African Union. I'm not losing sovereignty because our collective sovereignty is huge. Is huge. Then we are somebody which can be respected around the world. We go out there in Europe, oh, we Africans, we African. I want to ask you, seriously, what do you mean you are Africans? You are South African, you're Nigerian, what do you mean you are Africans? Where is your government? What decisions you are able to make? What is Africa? Unless we have an African Union and a joint, a will, and then it doesn't work. So you made commitments now in front of all these people who are going to fight for that case. Is that correct?
You have my commitment, and not just me, by the way. I think a critical mass of African readers is building on how we should act together. I told you this particular position of consolidating what we need to do and how we need to engage with the rest of the world was actually driven by President Kagame.
Excellent.
We've talked with many other heads of state, and I think there is a critical mass emerging that we need to act differently. We need to work smart. Let me tell you of an unfortunate situation. I visited one of the countries, I don't want to say which one, and we were having a conversation about the economic partnership agreement between EAC and the EU.
Yeah.
The EU, 27 countries, 520 million people have agreed on what we need to do. EAC, we are sizable, 170 million people. Then one country, and I don't want to say which one, refused to sign. So he said, no, we need to teach these people some lesson. So I'm listening. Your country has 11 million people. What are you going
now
to
we
teach?
know the country. Anyway.
So what are you going to teach 520 million people who are supposed to serve as your market? Really? So sometimes we undermine our own case because of not acting properly. So I want to promise you that it is our challenge. The realization alone that we have a problem is halfway the solution from where I sit. So we know that we have to change stuff. We know that we have to act in a manner that makes sure that we secure our interests, because the whole discussion, the whole discourse is about interests. What is our interest? How do we protect our interests? Because everybody protects theirs.
Yeah.
So this is awakening, and I think the engagement of Africa with the rest of the globe is going to change. That is why, for example, we are having the Climate Action Summit, because we want to go to the UN. We want to come to the UN General Assembly. We want to go to COP28 with an African consolidated position, speaking with one voice, the whole lot of us, so that people can know we know what we want, and we will not back down.
This is wonderful. If any value to this discussion is, I think we reached some interesting commitment from the president here. No, it's useful, the commitment made by the president. My only suggestion is that mobilize the people, have trust in the people, because the pressure from the people can help produce. Get the civil society into your summit. Get them to press their governments to really move behind you in this agenda, because that has to happen. And until you get the people behind you, everybody will drag their feet. And that's the history of Africa.
I agree with you 100% that we need to mobilize the people to be with us, to share the vision with us, to agree with us on the paradigm shift in what we need to do. I agree with you, the civil society have a big role to play, because they can do sometimes what governments cannot do. And even in Kenya, we have a robust civil society. They have made a huge contribution to who we are today.
Yeah.
Sometimes as governments we agree with them, sometimes we don't agree with them, but that is the nature of life. All I ask of our good friends in the civil society space, including you, Mo, is always
Yes.
to look out for the interests of the people of our continent, and not sometimes to play to the gallery of the people who pay your check.
What are applauding for? What you guys are applauding for?
If you enjoy this video, don't forget to share your comments below and subscribe.
All right, fellas, you are warmly welcome back. Now, this is OGB TV. You can follow my Ghana Bakon via Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. May the Almighty and the Supreme Being bless you and bless your heart for doing so. Now, share these videos so others can hear. Now, listen very carefully. Now, producer, I need to play just the first 2 minutes, the exchange. I just need to play that exchange, and then I will come in.
The positive thing is that there is a realization that it cannot continue this way. We have what it takes to fix it. And the conversation is already begun on what do we realistically do to be able to get the African Union to take charge of the affairs of our continent. Let me give you a case in point. We decided, for example, that we are going to assemble our market using the Africa Continental Free Trade Area market.
Yes, that's good decision.
Ecosystem.
Yeah.
And the positive thing is that it was unbelievable at the rate at which we were able to achieve consensus and we were able to achieve ratification. And I want to tell you, it is among the things that happened in the shortest time possible. It tells you there is greater realization that unless we act in concert, unless we act together, we are unlikely to make any impact anywhere. We have, at least on the market issue, we have put that together. There is a debate that is going to evolve. Like, for example, we have also decided that it will not going to be business as usual. We have these meetings, Africa, US meeting, Africa, Europe, Africa, Turkey, Africa,
India.
Now we are waiting for, there is another one, Africa, Russia.
And Africa, Japan.
And Africa, Japan. We have made the decision that it is not intelligent for 54 of us to go and sit before one gentleman from another place. And
Already. Now, you heard everything from the horse's own mouth. Now, here is the president who is talking. Now, one thing I don't want African leaders to do is to talk and do nothing. Most of them are talking. And then two, I would have preferred that many a times. Now, the reason I'm speaking English is because I want this, because it's the only medium all of us, or most Africans, can understand what I'm trying to put across. I will be very happy, even though I'm a Ghanaian, I'll be very happy if Ghana, the whole of the African continent, will have one unique language. I don't care where it may come from. Whether it's Swahili, whether it's, Amharic, Oromo, Goragi, or it's Chi, or it's Nzima, or it's Gan, or it's an Igbo language, or it's a Zulu language. I don't care. At this point, the youth don't care. A time has come. People came to our land. They took our mineral resources. They took our, they make sure that they erase our names. Shout out to most of our African brothers who stood up and now they have their own. If you go to South Africa, Nigeria, most of the African continents, people have their own African names. I don't care whether it's Chukwuemeka or whether it's Malema or it's whatever names. I don't care. So long as it's an African name, I am proud of who I am. I am proud to be as an African. Africans for Africans. Let me continue. My dear friends, what I want to put across here is this. Our leaders are talking. You see, when you speak in somebody's language, you give them the opportunity for them to tie you up. Because now they know. See, now all that people who don't want Africa to progress to know is to know what we're thinking. How do they know what we're thinking? When we speak. Because as soon as you open your mouth, you expose yourself to allow people to figure out exactly what your intentions are. And once people know what your intentions are, they can what? Mount a counter what? Strategy. Just to pin you down. Now, I want us to go back and watch a video. The reason why I don't want our leaders to just keep talking, and do nothing. Most of them, that's what they do. They do all this for cameras. Look, don't be elated when you see all these things on the social media and say, oh, yeah, go ahead, man, go ahead. Now, you see how they have the balls, they're talking, they're rebuking, they're reprimanding people. And look, all this is sometimes is something that is choreographed. You might think, because since time immemorial, people are talking. People like what? Professor Lumumba. With all the big English and big words. Look, if he's talking and he keep talking and we don't see any impact, it means he has to stop talking and start what? Acting. Our talk need to be what? Our talk needs to change into actions. I like that brother. I like his passion. But with all this kind of lectures, too by talk does not produce anything. OGB is not here to talk. We are here to act. That is what I want our leaders to do. You act, you talk less. Have you ever seen the Chinese supreme leader talking all the time? Even when they put the cameras on him, he speaks few. People who do a lot speak few or talk few. They don't talk plenty. Now let me speak the African language here. They don't talk plenty. We talk plenty. And we want to do this, we have to do that. And African leader can teach you everything that will make Africans succeed. Go to their country and see. Even in West Africa, where we have one common passport, crossing only the border from Ghana to Togo will always be an issue. Look, most of the leaders we see are not leaders. They are puppets. Because the oppressors are using the idea of, say, like Kofi Annan Foundation, Nelson Mandela Foundation. That is where they pick puppets, train them, coerce them, put their reason in them. And then they will be the same people to sponsor them. They will put them in the media front. Oh, this guy is this and that. He got a degree from us. Look, degrees don't change countries. What change countries is somebody who is very much aware of who they are. They know their history. They're able to identify who they are as an African. They understand what is meant to be an African. And the prosperity and the what? And the prosperity of African continent. These are people, someone like Julius Malema. These are people who understand. Not people who just come, just talk for what? Talk for talking's sake. Brothers and sisters, or fellow Ghanaians, in conclusion, this is why OGB comes in, and then now we are calling for what you need to put. Now put up our website. You can visit our website at www.omyganaback1.org. www.omyganaback1.org. Please just go there and register and join this organization. We have a lot of things. We are an action group. We are non-political, we are non-ethnic, and we are also non-religious group. We want to cut through every red tape and make sure we have come together. It doesn't matter your ideology. It doesn't matter what you believe or which organization you belong to. You can do whatever you want to do and so come under the umbrella of what? OGB. All that I want to put across here is that a time has come for our leaders to stop talking and walk the talk. More action, less talk. You talk too much, you will leave yourself vulnerable. You expose yourself to the oppressor. You let the oppressor know what you're thinking. Because they are holding your boss. So sometimes you need to keep quiet and say what? Just something just to keep them thinking. And keep to your own thing. This is what the Chinese did. And now they are controlling the whole world. So we are not saying that it's not good to talk. It's good to talk. It's good to have a dialogue. This man was talking alone. Where the rest of them? When you listen to some of the things that he said, it was very revealing. He is one of them. So when he's saying this, you know that this is where they're coming from. I don't think, and it's our belief that unity is the key. And our leaders are talking about unity. They should own up their words. They should start letting us see what they are talking by allowing this free trade. When you are from Nigeria and you're going to Ghana, you will have a free pass without any problem. And if you're a Nigerian, you are going to Ghana, don't go to Ghana and use this 419 things on Ghanaians. If you're a Ghanaian and you're going to Nigeria, don't go to Nigeria and you also use what 419 on Nigerians. See your brother as a brother, a sister as a sister. If Africans will, wake up and unlearn all this rubbish and trash that we've been taught by our colonizers now, I believe that we will not hurt each other. The only way a brother will hurt a brother is when a brother does not understand or doesn't know who a brother is. If you really understand that this is my brother, you wouldn't hurt your brother. Because no one will hurt who they love. You see, we are forgetting about all these things. We are all one people. The Berlin Conference gave birth to demarcation of the African continent. And hence, this is what we're going to have. Now, I wanted to put up something. I'm not going to go and say it one by one because it's too many. Africans and the original names. Now, producer, put up this picture. Thank you very much. Now, as you can see, this used to be our names, and it was changed by the colonizers. Our system has been changed. Everything about it has been changed. A time has come to unlearn all those things and be ourselves, be who we are, and let us have passion for the African continent and help our country to grow. If Africans succeed, individual countries will succeed. The only way we can do that is by what? Coming together. Unity of purpose. This is what OGB comes in. Thank you very much. May God bless the African continent and make our continent great and strong